time the victim was found, 8:05 a.m. on the 9th. Location: the parking lot near the back entrance of Hoolington College, a suburb of Liberty. Victim: Bill Robbins, 34, President of Robbins Trading Company Limited. Cause of death: massive blood loss caused by multiple stab wounds to the back. Weapon: sharp object. Approximate time of death: 1 a.m. on the 8th. Thorough investigation is being conducted. Many problems are anticipated.
Me that you don't know who the murderer is yet? You know, if you keep working at this pace, people are going to lose confidence in you. Solve this case soon, or there are going to be angry folks knocking down our doors.
The rape at the Downs Hill Cemetery. On April 23, 1983, at approximately 2:30 in the morning, a Ms. Sarah Shields, age 21, was beaten and raped by an unknown assailant near the Downs Hill Cemetery. The aggressor fled when a security guard making his rounds came by. Ms. Shields was found lying on the ground, unconscious, with severe wounds to her face and torso. Ms. Shields could not give a description of her attacker, and he was never identified. Object stolen: automobile, Ford, white, 1986 model. Reported stolen by the Robbins Trading Company. Location of theft: parking lot of the Robbins Trading Company. The lock must have been broken and the car stolen from the parking lot. Object stolen: wristwatch, Japanese made. Reported stolen by the Grand Hotel. Manager: Robert Osborne. Location of theft: unknown. The watch disappeared from the personal effects of a hotel guest. Stolen object: butcher knife. Reported stolen by Bigger's Store. Owner: Danny Bigger. Location of theft: inside the store. The owner claims that the knife was stolen from the display area.
You look dead. Excuse the expression. Are you close to putting a lid on this case?
Hey, Harold, do you intend to spend the rest of your life working on this case? Hurry up, will ya? We're busy here. We got a lot of things to do in case you haven't noticed.
Good to see you, Inspector. It's good to see you, officer. Morton Bradley. Morton Bradley. I'm 50 years old. I'm a security guard for Hoolington College. My blood type is B. I have a wife and 2 daughters. Fishing, working on my car. Can't think of any. I come from Bethesda, Maryland. I don't belong to any, sir. That's the man whose corpse I discovered. I just opened the car door and he fell on me. I'd never seen a dead man before. It gave me the shakes. I had the night shift. I was finishing my round at about 2 in the morning when I noticed the car. Right about the time I found Mr. Robbins, I heard a car screeching off. I couldn't get a good look at it, but I'd say it was blue. I had a weird gut feeling, so I went to take a look inside. When I opened the car door, the body fell on me. Jeez, was I surprised. seems that Mr. Robbins was killed somewhere else and then dumped in that car. That's what the coroner was saying. The victim was a big man. I don't know if one person could handle that alone.
Can I help you? I'm Fred Robbins. After my brother died, his wife Janet went to stay with her parents. I'm house-sitting for her. I'm 30 years old. I work for the HH Company. My father, Edward, my late brother, Billy, my sister, Kate, my brother-in-law, Michael Holding, and Pamela, our housekeeper, who's just like family to us. I belong to the White Hawk Club. I can't believe he's really dead. I guess it just hasn't sunk in yet. Why would anyone do this? My father is totally absorbed in his work. He cares more about the Robbins Trading Company than anything, including his family. Ever since the murder, she's been staying with her parents, the Carringtons. Her parents say she's in bad shape. Doesn't eat, doesn't sleep. They're really worried about her. The night it happened, I went out to a movie. It ended about 11 and I went right home. What theater? It was the Gaslight Theater. I have nothing to tell you. I hadn't talked to Bill in a while. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I drive a red Ford.
How can I help you? If it's about the deceased CEO, you should ask the president. He's in the back room. Please step this way. What is it?
Edward Robbins. 60 years old. President of the Robbins Trading Company. Blood type? I don't remember. It rarely comes up in conversation. I have 3 children. My 2 sons, Bill and Fred, and my daughter, Kate. Work is my hobby. I have a private pilot's license with over 4,000 hours of flight time. I was born and raised here. I'm the managing director of the local branch of the Chamber of Commerce. I don't want to talk about my son anymore. If it has to do with Bill's work, ask his secretary, Shelley McDonald. Now that Bill is gone, Fred is heir to the Robbins family business. He'd better shape up or we're in big trouble. Janet is still young. She has to get over Bill's death and start a new life for herself. I don't want to talk about my son anymore. If it has to do with Bill's work, ask his secretary, Shelley McDonald. Wonderful girl. She seemed to be on good terms with Bill. He's the family doctor and also an old friend. He's taking the day off. I don't know him. Who's that? Just another lousy writer who can't sell any books. I think his work is a bad influence on the younger generation. That night, I went to my friend James McBain's place. I came home around 11 and went straight to bed. McBain and I have been friends since we were boys. McBain... No, nothing. Please catch whoever did it.
Can I help you? Hi. Daisy Ernest. I go to Hoolington College. My dad knows Mr. McBain, the man who owns this theater. That's how I got this job. My blood type is A. My parents and my big sis. Movies and modern dance. Look, I just got my jazz dance instructor card. Not a bad picture, huh? I was born here in Liberty. I'm just a simple small-town girl. I belong to the Hoolington College Cinema Club. The man who was stabbed to death? I read about it in the papers. It's creepy to think the murderer is running loose. I don't know him. I don't know him. No, I don't know her. We went to the same high school, but she was a couple of years ahead of me. Who? I don't know him. Mr. McBain is never here. His home? I think he lives near the college. I think my shift ended around 7 o'clock that night. Nick picked me up and we went for a drive. The only thing I want to add is, you know, you're really cute, Mr. Harold. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a car.
Welcome to the Hotel Grand. What can we do for you? What is it? Robert Osborne. I'm 54 years old. I'm the manager of this hotel. My blood type is A. I have a wife and 2 children. I like to do a little bird watching now and then. I never forget a customer's name or face, even if I've only met him or her once. I was born in the California wine country, Kenwood, California to be exact. I sometimes meet with a group of hotel managers. Mr. Robbins came here on occasion. In fact, he had reservations for the night it happened. We had prepared a room with a king-size bed for him. You can imagine his death was quite a shock. Edward Robbins is one of Liberty's most prominent and respected citizens. He stops in from time to time. I don't know him very well. I don't know her. Mr. McBain is one of our shareholders. About 20 years ago, his father died and left him the movie theater. This is probably unrelated, but the night of the murder, one of our guests stayed out past 2 in the morning. A nervous man. His name is Manuel Barkley. The night of the murder, I was here working.
Yes, all night. Yes, one of our guests did report a missing watch. It was, thankfully, a false alarm. We were able to find it ourselves. Thank you for asking. Therashield stopped working here soon after it happened. I know him. He has been staying here for the past 3 weeks.
Yes? What is it? Manuel Barkley. I read about it in the newspaper. A man got killed, right? I was in my room. I have nothing to tell the police. For the 10th time, I am just a tourist. I don't know.
Who is it? What do you want? Don't just stand there smoking that stinking cigarette. Go out and find the murderer. Pamela Smith. I'm 55 years old. I'm the housekeeper. My blood type is O. The Robins are my brothers. Mr. Robbins and Freddie were out, but I was home all night. When did they get in? I don't know. I must have been asleep. Well, there is something that's been bothering me. The night of the murder, I called Janet. She was sobbing and barely coherent, but she kept insisting everything was okay. It was just awful. The Robbins family had absolutely nothing to do with that incident. A terrible, dreadful thing. Can you imagine the pain his father must be going through? You don't see many men like Mr. Robbins. I always told the children they were lucky to have such a fine father. I will say, so bright and kind and good. The Robbins Trading Company will be doing even better business once he takes over. You just watch. She can't dwell on it. She's just got to put the whole thing behind her. young woman. A credit to the family. Dr. Randall is the Robbins family physician. His clinic is located near here. She's a saint to work for a difficult boss like Bill. You probably know whose fault it was that her little sister died. He's a friend of Mr. Robbins. I don't know him. You know, I believe that someone with that name came here to see Mr. Robbins. You know. What can I do for you? I'm glad you're on the case. Kate Holding. I live with my husband Michael and his parents. I'm a member of the Anemone Club. I was at home the whole evening. Well, there is something. The night Phil was murdered, I heard someone leave the house. I think it was around 10:30. I couldn't help but notice. I still can't believe anyone would murder Bill, although I knew there were some people who didn't like him. He works for the H Company. I think he's met someone that he really cares for. He's been hinting that he may get married soon. He works... Poor thing. It's been terrible for her. I wish there was something I could do to make her feel better. He can be stubborn at times, but he's a good man and a good father. Unfortunately, he and Bill didn't get along. They kept getting into arguments over business. She used to work for my brother Bill. I've heard she lives by herself in an apartment near Hoolington College. Dr. Randall is the Robbins family's doctor. It's a local women's group that my mother-in-law organized. We raise money for charity. Well, there is something.
Oh, you want to talk to me? Tony Holding. I'm president of the HH Company. I was home all that night. I didn't go anywhere. I did go out that night. I guess I forgot. I had promised to meet someone. Who was I supposed to meet? Well, I did. I hate to say this, but Bill really flaunted his extramarital affairs. I wonder whether it had something to do with his death. She used to be Bill's secretary. They were always together.
What is it? Lucy Holmes. I live with my husband Tony, my son Michael, and my daughter-in-law Kate. I was feeling under the weather. There was a party the night before. You know how that is. I spent the entire evening in bed. It's probably beside the point, but I wasn't feeling well the night of the murder, so I called Dr. Randall's office. But nobody answered. Nobody was at his house either. I can remember Bill and Janet's wedding as if it was yesterday. Such a beautiful ceremony. And to think that now that sweet young bride's a widow. That doctor, he's one of a kind, always ready to lend a helping hand. You know, he took in the daughter of a friend of his who died. He hasn't been feeling well since the murder took place. He doesn't seem to be getting much sleep at night either. I'm really worried about him. He...
It's you, Inspector Harrow. Simon Randall. What do you want from me? Simon Randall. My wife died 5 years ago. I don't have any children, but my assistant, Susie McNally, lives with me. Like a daughter, I mean. I was here until late. I don't think I left the office until 1 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I drive a blue Mercedes. I'd known him for years. He was like a son to me. Edward and I are old friends. He's a stubborn old geezer. If he gets an idea into his head to do something, he won't quit until he's done it. She's gone home for a little while. My house is right around the corner from here. These questions are getting tedious. That crazy old bachelor? He's one of my closest friends. That's Bill's secretary. She's an attractive young woman. I don't know her.
Yes. Susie McNally. I'm 24 years old. I'm a nurse at the Ramble-play. Both my parents have passed away. I don't have any brothers or sisters either. I was in my room. Nothing in particular. I don't have a car. I only talked to him once when he came to the clinic to have his appendix removed. I wish I could be of more help. He's a good person, but I don't know her very well. My father and Simon were close friends. When my father died, Simon was good enough to help take care of him. He helped me get a nursing license. He's been just like a father to me. I didn't go anywhere that night. I didn't go anywhere that night. Who is it? What do you want? Pamela Smith. I may be old-fashioned, but I can't say I approve of her morals. It doesn't take her long to get to know a man. You know what I mean. She's a saint to work for a difficult boss like Bill. You probably know whose fault it was that her little sister died.
Please come in. I'm Fred Robbins. After my brother died, his wife Janet went to stay with her parents. I'm house-sitting for her. Oh, I guess I didn't go straight home. After the movie, I drove around for a little while. About an hour, I guess. Yes, I drive a red Ford. She's the nurse over at Randall's clinic. She's really beautiful, isn't she? Just gorgeous.
I'm sorry, my son. You just missed the servant. There's something troubling you, my son. Feel free to talk about it. Destiny Brown. I was here, of course. Come to think of it, yes. The night of the murder, I heard the sound of a car coming from the graveyard. Very unusual at that late hour. I hope it's not related to Bill Robbins' murder. Mr. Robbins' funeral was held here. I pray for his soul daily. God bless him. He's made donations to this church and many worthwhile charities. He's a serious young man. Her father is buried in the cemetery behind the church. She goes there often to put flowers on his grave. how is the investigation progressing?
Come in, Officer Harold. Thank you for your effort. How can I be of help? Martha Carrington. My husband Joe, my son Ralph, and my daughter Janet. What can you say about a tragedy like that? He's a kind man, even though he's suffering through his own loss. He's shown such concern for Janet's welfare. After Bill was killed, Janet came home. She needs the support of her family now. I just wish there were more we could do for her. It breaks my heart to see her suffering this way. He's working today. My husband operates the home estate agency downtown. I was home all evening. My husband came in at about 11 o'clock. No, nothing at all. My husband Joe, my son Ralph, and my daughter Janet. I was home all evening. My husband came in at about 11 o'clock.
Yeah? What's up? Ralph Carrington. I'm 21 years old. I go to Hoolington College. AB. I live with my parents. I have a sister, Janet. I don't know. I like doing lots of things. I'm a great third baseman. I play for Hoolington College. I was born in Boston. I belong to the school psych club. We study criminal behavior.
What? Janet Robbins. Lately, I've been worried about him. He's been keeping to himself a lot, locking himself in his room. I have no idea what's going on inside his head. Janet Robbins. I used to have a husband. Now I'm left with a father, mother, and brother. I was home all that night. I tried to wait up for Bill, but I must have dozed off. I was woken up by a phone call from the police, telling me that my husband had been murdered. What do you mean? What sort of thing? A knife? I don't know anything about a knife. I joined because Kate asked me to. I used to have a husband. I don't want to talk about Bill right now. I just can't handle it. I met Bill at my father's office. He was so handsome and nice and mature. Before I knew it, I was in love with him. I was so sure we'd be together forever. A knife? I don't know. My father was terribly upset when Bill and I decided to get married. He opposed it all the way. I don't want to talk about Bill right now. I just can't handle it. I don't know her. Look, I'm tired. I can't think straight. Can we do this some other time?
Ralph Carrington. Why are you asking me this? I didn't do anything. I went out with my friends, and I got home pretty late. be honest, I hated his guts. The guy was a dirtbag. Still, I wouldn't wish death on anyone. My sister's in lousy shape. She's cracking up. And I don't want to talk about her, okay? My sister... He's kind of a recluse. Not too good with most people. But he's been great to me and Janet. She used to be Bill's secretary. She's a very reliable, bright woman. And nice, too. And working for a jerk like that. I've seen her with Bill at the Hungry Fisherman. Never met him. Never met him.
This is the second marriage for both of us. My first husband died when Janet and Ralph were about a year old. I married Joe 10 years ago. Lately, I've been worried about him. He's been keeping to himself a lot, locking himself in his room. I have no idea what's going on inside his head.
Yes? Yes, what is it? Shelley MacDonald. My parents died when I was young. I had a sister, but she died too. I took the day off work and went shopping. At about 6 o'clock, I stopped by Big Burger and then headed home. That was my evening. I don't want to marry anybody. If you knew about my sister's marriage, you'd understand. It was a shock. One day he's here and the next he's gone. He and Janet are twins. Oh, him. He's called the office to talk to Bill.
Hi there. How about trying our amazing new triple cheeseburger? Or perhaps a tasty chocolate bopper for dessert? Nick Goodman. Totally cool name, huh? I'm 20 years old. I'm like in college. I only work here part-time. My blood type is A. I live with my parents and my older sister. They were renovating this place the day that dude got killed, so I got off around 3. I picked up Daisy and Ralph later on, and the 3 of us went for a cruise downtown. I got home before midnight. Yeah, wait a minute. I remember Ralph saying that he had something to do. We dropped him off around 10 near school. I drive an orange Fiesta. You mean the dead guy? Yeah, I knew Janet, his old lady. Like, you should call it the SWAT team to catch the lowlife who killed him, man. Yeah, we're pretty good friends. He's in Professor Ford's criminal psych class with me. Sometimes we go cruising together. As a matter of fact, we went out a couple of weeks ago. No, I don't know him. No, I don't know him.
What is this all about?
Okay, I kind of forgot. I left Nick and his girlfriend at about 10 o'clock. After that, I just took a walk and then headed back home.
Oh, it's you, Inspector. Anything I can do for you? Yes, what is it? Paul Davis. I was in the restaurant the whole evening. No, I didn't go out at all until I closed the place at 2 in the morning. I went straight home after work. Now that you mention it, that night when I was closing up, I saw Stanley in front of the restaurant. I was kind of surprised. I wondered what he was doing there so late. Sure I know him. Before his sister's wedding, he had a quarrel with Bill right here in the restaurant. He seemed convinced that Bill would hurt Janet somehow. Stanley is not a bad guy, but he has a tendency to get on people's nerves. He and Mr. Robbins were always fighting about something. What? Stanley left here around midnight the night Bill was killed. He was a big man in town. He only owns a crummy theater, but apparently he's quite wealthy.
What do you want to talk about? Sarah Shields. I was in the restaurant all evening. I left at about 2 in the morning. I try not to think about it. It happened a long time ago, and I would rather not discuss it, thank you. That night I heard Bill mumble Liberty something or other. Maybe he was referring to the bank. He's been here a couple of times. He owns the Gaslight Theater. He's easy to recognize because he always has a big cigar sticking out of his mouth. Hey, wait a minute. I saw Mr. McStane near the college when I was going home from work the night of the murder. He might have been coming from the church. He's always putting on an act. That's probably why he gets upset whenever somebody upstages him. I hate him. The night the murder took place, he was here, trying to pick a fight with Bill Robbins. I think he mentioned that he lives uptown.
I need to see your ticket, sir. What is it? Gail Lyman. I'm 38 years old. I'm a parking lot attendant for the Robbins Trading Company. I finished my shift at 8 o'clock, changed clothes, and went home. What can I tell you? I lead a dull life. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. Don't go saying I told you this, but Bill Robbins was a cutthroat businessman. Made a lot of enemies. Matter of fact, he and the real estate agent had a nasty argument a couple of days before Mr. Robbins was killed. It's still missing. It's still missing.
understand, Mr. Harold. The President's office is right this way.
Our bank's business does not concern the police. Gregory Raymond. I wasn't here the day it happened. I was in New York on business. At the risk of being indiscreet, the H.H. Company is in dire financial straits. I've heard that Mr. Holden has turned to some questionable sources for monetary support. I've had business dealings with him. He was young but highly skilled. You know, only a few days ago, the construction of his company's new parking lot was completed. He's Bill Robbins' father-in-law. You know that the land the new parking lot was built on used to belong to him? Apparently, he sold it to Bill at a very reasonable price. She used to be Bill Robbins' secretary. She seems like a very capable woman. Mr. Robbins must have liked and respected her because he took her everywhere with him. Excuse my bluntness, but the director of the H.H. Company is a servile flatterer, and it appears to me that his company is financially unsound.
Welcome. Sorry, the boss isn't here, but maybe the general manager can help you. Please step this way.
Well, Detective, what is it? Michael Holden, 30 years old. I'm the general manager here. I have type A blood. My father, Tony, my mother, and my wife, Kate. I was at home. As soon as I finish work, I always go straight home. I can't think of anything else worth telling you. Just do your best. Kate has been really upset over this. My car? I drive a white Mercedes. Why? Business? I don't know exactly, but I guess it's going okay. Business? It's a horse riding club. Bill used to be president. We were going to call it the Red Rum Club, but we didn't want people to confuse it with the old Red Tie Club.
Can I help you? What do you want with me, Inspector? Joe Carrington. That night I was supposed to meet a customer here, but the person didn't show up. I waited until 10 o'clock and then gave up and went home. He was a selfish man. I hate to say this about my daughter's husband, but he had it coming. I can't stand arrogant like him. Fortunately, I'm a very healthy man. I haven't been to a doctor in years. I've never had any contact with him. Now that you mention it, yeah. I did see Mr. Holding when I was leaving work that day. He was in a big hurry. I know next to nothing about Martha's previous husband. Martha doesn't like to talk about it, and I don't press the matter. I don't drive. It's going fairly well, thank you.
How can I help you?
We're going through a difficult time, but the management is stable. You know, I almost forgot. I've seen her and Bill together downtown.
What do you want? Go away. James McBain. I'm 56 years old. The night Bill was murdered, I met Edward and we had a few drinks. That's it. The whole story. What's it got to do with me? It's none of my business, but I'll tell you what I know. You must have heard about Bill having affairs. Well, he was fooling around a lot. He's a friend of mine.
What do you want? What's this all about? Stanley Howard. I'm a novelist. You must have heard of my books. Disco Inferno, Dancing with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight, caused quite a stir when it came out. I went to the Hungry Fisherman for a few drinks, and then I went straight home to my apartment. I didn't steal any car, come on! I didn't steal any car, come on! I have nothing to say that would be worth your time or mine. Yes, it's true that we've talked a couple of times over at the Hungry Fisherman, but that's about it.
Welcome. How are you, sir? Danny Biggers. I'm 60 years old. I own this store here. My blood type is A. I have a wife, daughter, and a son. I closed the store at 8 o'clock, as always, and did some scrubbing up. I was home by 9 o'clock. Mystery novel fanatics, wasn't it? They wore red ties to their meetings for no reason I could figure out. Yes, it must have been 20 years ago. Janet shops here sometimes. I always thought she looked kind of sad for a newlywed.
Welcome to the Hotel Grand. What can we do for you? Robert Osborne. remember her name. I think I've seen her with Bill Robbins a few times. She's got long blonde hair, doesn't she? Well, the Red Tie Club. I've heard the name somewhere, but I can't quite remember.
Okay, so I did leave the hotel the night of the murder, but I didn't have anything to do with the murder. I just took a walk. I'm telling the truth. Please believe me.
Still more questions? If it's about the deceased CEO, you should ask the president. He's in the back room. Please step this way.
Edward Robbins. Edward Robbins. Well, I forgot. It's hard to remember that sort of thing. That guy has no managerial skills.
Still...
You surprised me. Wilbur Ford. I'm 48. I teach psychology at Hoolington. I was in the psych department study room preparing for a discussion group. There were a lot of people in the room with me who can back up my story. That must have been about 20 years ago. I have a couple of questions I'd love to ask the members of that group. If only there was a membership list.
What's the meaning of your visit? Simon Randall. I've never really talked with him. I've never really talked with him.
Oh, you again. Joe Carrington. I was opposed to their marriage from the start. Janet was mesmerized by that sweet-talking SOB and just wouldn't listen to reason.
I've already told you everything I know. Shelley MacDonald. I don't know. Nobody came here and I didn't go out. He has a bad reputation with the Amateur Writers Society. He's conceited, but it's not just that. Apparently, he was involved in some shady deals in New York.
Oh, you again. Stanley Howard. I'm telling you the truth. I was a bit drunk, so I went to bed immediately. I don't know anything about Bill Robbins' murder.
You again. Swell. Edward left here at about 10 o'clock, and then I went to bed.
How's the investigation coming along? Well, hang in there.
If you feel it's going nowhere, try something new. murderer is yet? You know, if you keep working at this pace, people are going to lose confidence in you. Solve this...
What do you want now, Harold? You know you have to go through proper police procedures. I understand. I'm going to give you a search warrant, but you had better not make me sore. You hear me, Harold? I understand. I'm going to give you... I understand. I understand. I understand. I understand. I'm going... I understand. I understand. I'm going to give you a...
How's the investigation coming along? How's the investigation?